How were you treating your job search process before you met core consultants?
Obviously, it's a stressful situation to be in when you're job hunting. It takes a lot of time and a lot of searching for interviews. And I just found I was just sending out my CV and applying for jobs daily, maybe 10 jobs a day, not getting any type of response, just rejection emails. If I did get one or two interviews, I wasn't getting past the first phase really. So it was quite stressful and demoralizing really. And you start to doubt yourself.
Did you get success after we finished our training and we zhuzhed up your CV?
Yes, 100%, definitely. You and I sat down, we met, we had our meeting, we went through a whole lot of questions. It was a Zoom interview with the general manager in Australia. They asked me a lot of questions that you and I went through. I answered them exactly the way we practice. And then a week later, they phoned me to give me my dream job. So yeah, it went very well.
What would you have to say to anybody who's considering using these types of services?
There's over 100 people applying for every single job, and you need to stand out. And it's going to be with your CV, and that gets you in the door, and you're going to need professional help. So I would say spend a little bit of money, get your CV done properly, get the training done for the interview, instead of wasting so much time like I did, weeks and weeks trying to find a job without any help. I would highly recommend your services.
Hey, Freddy, thanks for joining me today. Today, just to chat about the process you've gone through with core consultants. I'd like to find out from you, how were you treating your job search process before you met core consultants?
Yeah, look, obviously it's a stressful situation to be in when you're job hunting. It takes a lot of time and a lot of searching for interviews. And I just found I was just sending out my CV and applying for jobs daily, maybe 10 jobs a day, not getting any type of response, just rejection emails. If I did get one or two interviews, I wasn't getting past the first phase really. So it was quite stressful and demoralizing really. And you start to doubt yourself.
Yeah, it's quite demoralizing, isn't it? Just getting these constant rejections. Yeah. What was your biggest challenge before you started working with us in core?
Biggest challenge was I wasn't prepared for the interviews. I was maybe a bit old school where used to go and have a discussion, see if you get to know the person, and then you give them the job. What I found was when I went to the interviews, it was a lot more structured about the questions they asked me. I wasn't prepared for. Past experiences in different companies and stuff like that I wasn't prepared for, which core really helped guide me on and practice with me before the job interview process, and which would really prepared me with the various questions, etc. But what the interviewee would ask.
Okay, what was that aha moment in the interview that you realized, wow, this is all coming together?
When what they seem to use is the STAR process that you taught me, that Core taught me. So when I sat with you, we practiced a lot of different scenarios and different types of questions using that process. The good thing I found is that the process can be used for any different questions that they ask you. So it might not be a question that you and I practice, but you use the same principles to answer the question. And that was a huge relief because I didn't have to try and think back and make something up in my mind or present a scenario. I just used that same structure using the STAR technique, and you actually thought of something that I had experienced in the past, and I just used that technique and answered all the questions, and that's exactly what they were looking for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And, it gives you a lot of confidence walking into an interview, being prepared, having all those questions set up, that you have them in the back of your mind.
Definitely. So you got all these questions. A lot of the scenarios are based on those a lot of the interviews use those same questions that we went through. So it definitely helps you being prepared, because you're not stressing trying to think of what to say and what not to say when you've already revised. It's actually like revising the whole interview process before doing it.
Yes.
Doing
Okay.
it for real, yeah.
And then with
So,
the work we did on your CV, how did you find your CV changed after we'd worked with you? The difference in your CV?
definitely more modern. My CV was very outdated, or something I just designed, I'd used from an old Excel template or something like that.
Yeah.
And probably about 4 or 5 pages too long. So yes, it was definitely more modernized. From what I understand, the people don't want to spend 20 minutes reading through a 10-page CV. It's
Yeah.
all modernized and to the point, very professional.
Yes.
It helped. You structured my CV, put my values across to the company. Yeah, you just showed my achievements of what I've achieved over the years of my different positions and throughout my career, which I think stood out on the CV to the potential employer.
Oh, excellent. Great, thanks. How has this impacted your job search journey? How did you get success after we finished our training and we zhuzhed up your CV?
Yes, 100%, definitely. When we had it was for my dream job. I won't mention the company name. I thought it was privacy laws or whatever. But it was you and I sat down. We met. We had our meeting. We went through a whole lot of questions. I went to it was actually an interview. It was a Zoom interview with the general manager in Australia. We went through all. Amazingly, they asked me a lot of questions that you and I went through. So I answered them exactly the way we practice. The interview went very, very well. Went to another stage. It was round 3 of the interview. More people from Australia. And this time it was just 2 people. Asked me very similar questions. So what we went through the same STAR technique. And yeah, and then a week later, they phoned me to give me my dream job. So yeah, it went very well.
Fantastic.
Thanks to you guys. Yeah.
Very happy. Oh, thanks very much. What would you have to say to anybody who's considering using these types of services?
There's over 100 people applying for every single job, and you need to stand out. And it's going to be with your CV and and that gets you in the door. So you need to get in front of that person that interviews you. So the first thing is going to be your CV, and your cover letter. And you're going to need professional help to get that done. So I would say spend a little bit of money. Get your CV done properly. Get the training done for the interview. Instead of wasting so much time like I did, weeks and weeks, trying to find a job without any help. I would highly recommend your services. 100%, without a doubt.
Oh, Fred, really appreciate your time. Thanks very much. And yeah, have a good day.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. You too. And thanks again for your help.
Pleasure.